My mom forged my signature to give my car to my brother, so I took them both to court. She claimed it was just temporary and for family, but she signed a legal document behind my back. Hi, I'm Jake, 32, and last month my life blew up when my mom accidentally signed over my car to my unemployed brother because he needed it more. I wish I were kidding. It started with a voicemail that should have come with a trigger warning. I was halfway through lunch at work, leftover pad thai, no fork, using a plastic spoon like a savage, when I saw the notification. Hey honey! Just wanted to let you know I stopped by the DMV this morning. I handled the car title like we discussed. You're all set. Oh, and don't be mad, but I went ahead and added Josh to it. He's gonna use the car for job interviews. Love you. I sat there, chopsticks falling out of my mouth like a cartoon character. My car. My car. The one I bought with the bonus from last year, the one I parked 2 blocks away because someone keeps keying Subarus on our street. I listened to the message 3 more times. I didn't remember any discussion. I definitely didn't remember consenting to my 29-year-old brother Josh, who hasn't held a job longer than a TikTok trend, getting joint ownership of my car. I called her back. No answer. So I texted. Me. What do you mean you handled the title? I didn't sign anything. Mom. Don't overreact. It's temporary. He just needs transportation until he gets back on his feet. Me. You forged my signature? Mom. Oh honey, don't be dramatic. It's family. Let me pause here and explain something. In my family, don't be dramatic is code for don't hold us accountable. And its family is the smokescreen behind which all boundaries go to die. I drove to my parents' house that evening, legally still the sole owner of the car, or so I thought. Mom opened the door smiling like I'd come to pick her up for brunch. You got my message? She asked. Oh yeah, I said. And I brought mine. I walked straight past her, into the kitchen where Josh was eating cereal in boxers, one sock on. He looked up, mouth full. Yo. Heard you're freaking out. I smiled. Heard you're committing grand theft. Mom gasped. Jake. He's your brother. I looked at her. Which part of that makes it less illegal? Josh rolled his eyes. Dude, chill. It's not like I'm gonna crash it. Cool, I said. Then you won't mind giving me the keys. He smirked. Nah, I think I'm good. And that was the moment something in me snapped. Not with rage. Not with violence. With clarity. I turned to my mom. You signed my name on a legal document? She folded her arms. I did what needed to be done. That line? I've heard it my whole life. From covering for Josh in school, to giving him the spare room rent-free for 18 months while he figured things out. And me? The responsible one? I always got the leftover attention. The emotional crumb cake of parenthood. I walked out without another word, heart racing. And 2 hours later, I was in line at the DMV. Because if they really thought they could steal my name and my property without consequences, they forgot who I was. The DMV clerk had pink hair, silver nails, and the energy of someone who did not get paid enough for people like me. I was fourth in line, sweating through my button-down, trying to rehearse the least insane version of, Hi, my mom forged my signature to give my car to my brother. When it was my turn, I stepped up and said, Hi. I think there was a fraudulent change made to my vehicle title, and I need to check the status. She raised an eyebrow. Fraudulent how? Like, I didn't sign anything, and now my brother's name is on it. She blinked once, then turned to her computer. Plate number? I gave it to her. She typed. Her face didn't change, but I saw it. The moment. The confirmation. Looks like it was transferred yesterday. Joint ownership. Joshua Langston added as co-owner. My heart sank into my shoes. Can I undo that? She shrugged like this happened all the time. If it was forged, that's a legal issue. You'd have to file a report, start a title dispute, probably take it to small claims or civil court. Depends how it was filed. I stared at her deadpan. So, to recap, someone stole legal ownership of my car by writing my name in curly letters, and my options are go to court or just vibe with it. She smiled for the first time. That's the DMV, baby. I walked out holding a printout that confirmed it, my name and Joshua Langston, co-owners. I called Josh. Straight to voicemail. I called Mom. Jake. She answered, too fast, too sweet. Everything okay? No, I said. Did you forge my name on a state form? She exhaled. Do we really have to use that word? Yes, I snapped. Because it's the legal term. I didn't forge anything. I signed for you. Parents do that all the time. School trips, doctors. I'm 32, Mom. You don't get to sign legal vehicle ownership over to a guy who can't even keep a goldfish alive. Her voice went cold. He's your brother. And that's exactly why I'm done, I said. I went home and opened a Google Doc. Title, Jake vs. Josh, Recovery Plan. Because if my mom wanted to play power of attorney without permission, and Josh wanted to take joyrides on my dime, fine. We'd do it by the book. Paper trail. Document everything. Leave zero room for drama. Step 1, report the fraud. Step 2, secure the car. Step 3, burn the bridge if I had to, but legally this time. Except step 2 was where the plan hit a bump. Because when I walked outside that night, keys in hand, ready to move the car to a secured garage. Before we continue, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot for me. Thanks. It was gone. It was the silence that hit first. You know that eerie quiet when something's missing, like when your phone's not in your pocket and your brain won't stop screaming something's off? That's what I felt standing on my curb, holding my keys like an idiot in a heat wave, staring at an empty parking spot. No glass. No tire marks. Just oil stains and betrayal. I blinked like maybe the car was hiding behind another car. Or maybe I'd parked it one street over and just forgotten, because sure, trauma amnesia is real, right? But I knew. Josh had taken it. My car. With my name still on the insurance, the lease, and now, thanks to DMV dark magic, on the title with him. I stood there like a freshly mugged cartoon character, still holding the keys to a car that wasn't mine anymore. Called Josh. Voicemail. Called Mom. She picked up on the first ring, and the fake sweetness was gone. Oh, for God's sake, Jake, what now? Where's my car? Silence. You're being dramatic again. I swear I could hear the air conditioner humming in the background while she just paused. Josh borrowed it. He had an interview. It's 9:30 p.m. She actually scoffed. Do you think everyone works your boring little accountant hours? I stared at the empty curb. My jaw clenched so hard I felt my molars grind. Mom, the car is registered under my name. If he gets into an accident, that's my liability. Oh, please. He's not a criminal. No, I snapped. He's just the guy who hasn't paid back the $3,000 he borrowed to start a podcast. Or the one who took my college laptop, pawned it, and said he'd give me the money next Friday. In 2015. You don't let anything go. She said like it was a character flaw. No, I said. I just remember. That night, I filed a police report. I didn't accuse Josh of grand theft auto. I reported the vehicle as taken without permission. Yes, the officer gave me a weird look when I explained the co-ownership situation. I showed him the DMV printout, the text messages, the voicemail. He said it was messy. Maybe civil. Maybe criminal. Maybe both. But they'd take the report. I slept horribly. Tossing and turning while my brain rewound every argument we'd ever had. Every time Mom smoothed over Josh's disasters with a warm voice and cold logic. He's trying. He's family. Not everyone has your stability, Jake. When I woke up the next morning, I had a text from Josh. Josh. Dude. What the hell? Cops came to Mom's. Chill the F*** out. No apology. No concern. Not even a fake. Sorry I didn't tell you I was using the car. Just indignation. Like I had caused the problem. I texted back one sentence, return the car by noon or I will escalate this. He didn't reply. I was still brushing my teeth when Mom called again. I cannot believe you involved the police, she said like I'd burned the family home to the ground. You can't believe I reported my stolen vehicle? He didn't steal it. You're co-owners. Mom, he changed the locks on the glove box and left a bong in the back seat. Maybe you shouldn't snoop through people's things. Maybe I shouldn't have to file legal paperwork to drive the car I paid for. You've changed, she said flat and cold. Yeah, I said. And not by accident. That day, I got a voicemail from Josh's ex. We hadn't spoken in years. She said, "Hey, Jake. You don't owe me anything, but Josh is telling people you gave him the car as a gift. And that you're just making noise now because you're jealous." I stared at the wall. Jealous? Of what? A man-child with no job, no health insurance, and now, apparently, my vehicle? I thanked her, hung up, and went full spreadsheet mode. First, I canceled the insurance. Then I filed a notice of liability release with the DMV. I reported the title dispute officially, attached copies of old payment records, the car loan, my bank transfers. And then I made the smartest move I'd made in weeks. I hired a lawyer. Her name was Daria. Clean blazer, sharper eyes, not a single second of small talk. She read everything while I sat there sweating in a chair too small for my long legs. After 15 minutes, she said, "They're playing a stupid game. The problem is, you've been playing with them. Time to flip the board." She helped me file a petition for sole ownership, citing fraud and misrepresentation. It wouldn't be fast, but it would be official. She also had a contact in vehicle recovery services, basically legal repo agents who help in cases like this. It wasn't cheap, but I'd already lost more than just a car. 2 days later, Josh posted an Instagram story. Him in my car, windows down, blasting music, saying, "On that grind, baby!" No job interview in sight. I sent it to Daria. Her reply? "Perfect. Thanks for the evidence." 3 nights after that, I got a call at 3:12 a.m. "Jake," Josh whispered, panicked. "Where's my car?" I rubbed my face. "What do you mean? It's gone, man." "I parked it in front of Lindsay's and now it's just gone." "Did you report it again?" I smiled into the darkness. "No, man," I said. I took it back. He screamed something unintelligible, then hung up. Daria had arranged for the recovery. Legally. Paperwork filed. Title dispute in progress. Insurance cancelled. I'd even installed a new GPS tracker. It was mine again. But it wasn't over. Because the next day, my mom showed up at my door with documents. Typed. Highlighted. Paperclipped. A stack of printouts she said proved I'd consented to sharing the car. I sat her down at my kitchen table. Let her do her speech. Let her flip through every single page like it was gospel. When she was done, I asked, "Where'd you get these?" She smiled, proud. "Josh and I worked on them together. You'll see, once you calm down, it was all fair." "Cool," I said. "Because Daria's going to love these." She blinked. "Who?" "My attorney." That's when she finally looked nervous. I said, "You can stay for coffee, or you can leave now." "But those pages? They're going into my case file." She left. No hug. No guilt trip. Just a stiff purse over her shoulder and a slammed front door. I stood there for a long time, then did the most important thing I'd done yet. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Because this wasn't just about a car anymore. This was about reclaiming the wheel of my own damn life. 3 weeks later, the court date landed. Civil, not criminal. Not yet. But enough to get Josh and my mom's attention. Daria had filed for ownership reversion based on fraud, breach of contract, and this was her favorite. Implied coercion via familial manipulation. Turns out there's actual legal language for this stuff. Who knew? Josh, however, did not take it well. He showed up at my office. Now, important detail. I work in a quiet little building with glass walls and zero tolerance for chaos. I handle finances for a regional grocery chain. You know what makes CFOs twitch? Unemployed dudes in basketball shorts storming and yelling. "Where's my CAR, Jake?" Reception froze. Our HR manager, a saint named Valerie, stepped between us like a bodyguard. "Sir, you need to leave." Josh looked at me like I was the traitor in a family epic. "You're ruining everything." I stood up, calm. "No. I'm restoring everything. One registration form at a time." "You're a snake." He spat. "You think you're better than everyone just 'cause you have a job and wear ties." I smiled. "I also have a lawyer." "You forgot that part." Security escorted him out. My phone exploded 10 minutes later. "Mom, how dare you humiliate your brother like that? Aunt Brenda, you know he's spiraling. Can't you just settle it quietly?" "Cousin Drew, bro. Not gonna lie. That was cold." I didn't respond. But Kara, my girlfriend of 4 years, who'd watched all this unfold with the quiet patience of a woman trained in the fine art of not reacting to nonsense, finally cracked. She walked into the kitchen, holding her phone, scrolling through a new round of guilt texts from my mom, and said, "You know what's wild? You were the responsible one. The fixer. And now that you won't be used, you're suddenly selfish and cold." I shrugged. "They're addicted to the version of me who never says no." Kara put the phone down. "Then it's time for detox." The day of the hearing, Daria met me at the courthouse with a manila folder and a black coffee. She wore that same sharp blazer combo and looked mildly amused by the circus gathering in the hallway. Josh showed up late, wearing a button-down over a Dragon Ball Z shirt. He was holding a folder of his own, but it was a beat-up manila envelope with crayon writing on the corner that said, "Medical Stuff, 2019. Mom followed him in. Tight smile. Neutral heels. Church purse. And all the quiet righteousness of a woman who believed the judge would take one look at me and say, "Shame on you, Jake. Give your brother back his toy." They sat across from me. Mom kept giving me soft, pleading looks like this was a family disagreement, not a legal dispute. The bailiff called our names. The judge, a balding, no-nonsense man with a booming voice and a schedule to keep, looked over the paperwork and raised one eyebrow. "Mr. Langston," he said, looking at Josh, "you're listed as a co-owner on the title, but there's no purchase record, no insurance contribution, and no evidence of financial partnership?" Josh shrugged. "He gave it to me." I blinked. "No, I didn't." The judge turned to me. "Mr. Langston, the other one, do you have proof of primary payment?" Daria slid our packet forward. "Receipts. Loan statements. The Venmo Josh sent for gas money once that he marked as LOL tie." The judge nodded slowly. "Okay. So, to be clear, you paid for the vehicle, insured it, maintained it, and your mother signed the co-ownership form?" I leaned in. "Without my knowledge." "She forged it." Mom gasped. "I signed it. He was always going to help Josh. I just made it easier." The judge's face did that thing judges do when they're 2 sentences away from slapping down a ruling. "Ms. Langston," he said slowly, "do you have legal authority to sign on behalf of your adult son?" She hesitated. "Well, no. But Then this is not your name to sign," the judge said, flipping the paper like it physically offended him. He looked back at Josh. "And you knew your brother hadn't signed it?" Josh's mouth twisted. "I thought it was fine." The judge turned to Daria. "Counsel, your request?" "Sole ownership, title correction, and legal fees." The judge nodded. "Granted. Mr. Langston, the original, will retain full ownership. Ms. Langston and Mr. Joshua Langston are barred from representing ownership in any legal or financial capacity. Legal fees to be reimbursed within 30 days. Bang. Gavel. Over. Mom stood up like she'd just been told her favorite soap opera was cancelled. Josh muttered something under his breath, grabbed his envelope, and stormed out. I didn't say a word. Outside on the courthouse steps, Mom caught up with me. Grabbed my arm. "You really think this is a win?" she hissed. I looked at her. "It's a correction." "He's your brother." "I know," I said. "That's why I finally stopped enabling him." She opened her mouth. Closed it. And then, finally, walked away. Kara was waiting at the car. When I slid into the passenger seat, I let out the kind of breath you only exhale after 17 years of pent-up resentment finally get a court date. "Was it worth it?" she asked. I looked out the window at my mom's retreating figure. "Yes," I said. "Because it's the first time I won in this family without losing something first." 3 days after the court ruling, Josh posted a passive-aggressive Facebook status that read, "Wild how some people would rather destroy family than share a Honda Civic. But I guess that's what happens when you're bitter and lonely and hiding behind lawyers. Hope the car keeps you warm at night, bro." It got 74 likes. Mostly from cousins I hadn't spoken to since 2011. Kara read it out loud while we ate dinner. She didn't laugh. She just said, "He really thinks he lost something." I picked at my salad. "He lost control. That's enough to feel like theft to people like him." Josh didn't message me directly. He didn't call. But he did send a very long, very unhinged email to my boss, alleging that I was mentally unstable, financially manipulative, and abusing my position of authority to control people. He included screenshots of our old group text from years ago, chopped up and stripped of context, trying to make it look like I had a history of emotional aggression. He CC'd HR. He signed it. A concerned citizen and brother. Now, this could have gone badly. Except I work for a company where people know me. And one of those people happens to be Valerie, remember her? HR powerhouse, middle-aged woman with a photo of her 2 golden retrievers on her desk and zero patience for drama. She called me into her office. When I walked in, she handed me a printout and said, "We're not taking this seriously, but you should know he's escalating." I read it. I didn't react. At the bottom of the page, Valerie had handwritten a note. "He messed with the wrong Langston." "Thanks," I said, half laughing. "I'll forward it to my lawyer." "Already did," she said. See, the thing about setting boundaries is that it teaches you how to build allies. And people notice when you stop playing the martyr. Especially when they've seen you carry the weight quietly for years. Josh kept going. He tried to cancel me on Reddit. He left a 1-star Yelp review for Kara's business. He even tagged me in a TikTok about toxic siblings that got 38 views and 1 comment. Damn, bro just wanted the car. But every move he made after court just helped me build a stronger case. Not legally, emotionally. Because each petty escalation made it more obvious. He wasn't grieving a relationship. He was mad that the vending machine he used to kick for snacks stopped dispensing. Meanwhile, my mom had gone quiet. No texts. No emails. No unannounced visits. Until Sunday. I was doing dishes. Kara was folding laundry in the other room. Our Spotify playlist was running something soft, Bon Iver or Phoebe Bridgers, I forget which, when my phone buzzed. "Mom, your father wants to talk." I stared at it. Felt my chest tighten. Then came the knock. I opened the door. There they were. My parents. Side by side. Dad in his usual golf jacket. Mom holding a Tupperware of something. Lasagna? Guilt casserole? Kara came to the door and immediately took a step back. "Is this a good time?" my dad asked. "Depends what it's for." "We want to talk," Mom said. "Privately." I stepped outside. Closed the door behind me. We stood on the front steps. Dad spoke first. "We just want peace, Jake. This fighting, it's not who we are." I blinked. "That's funny. Because I don't remember you saying that when you told HR I was unhinged." "That was Josh." Mom cut in. "You gave him my car," I said calmly. "Then defended him when he lied. Then got mad when I fixed it legally. Which part wasn't you?" Mom pursed her lips. "You always have to be the victim." "No," I said. "I always had to be the adult." Dad sighed. "So what now? We're just not a family anymore?" "I didn't say that. I said if we're going to be a family, it has to be with boundaries. Real ones." Silence. Then Mom said, "He's your brother. And I'm your son." She looked at me, eyes glassy. "We made mistakes," Dad finally said. "But you were never supposed to feel like you had to go to war to be heard." I nodded. "But I did. And now that you've heard me, I'm asking for space. Not forever. Just enough to breathe without being blamed for defending myself." They looked stunned. Like I just asked for $1 million instead of an ounce of respect. Mom put the Tupperware down on the porch railing. "There's food," she mumbled. "For Kara, too." I said thank you. I didn't open it. They left. And I stood there for a long time, staring at the container like it might explode. Inside was their version of a peace offering. But it was on my porch. Not barged in. Not assumed. Given. That was new. Inside, Kara said. "Was that progress?" I thought about it. "No," I said. "But it wasn't regression either." She smiled. "That's something." It was. And for the first time in months, I actually believed it. 3 months later, I woke up to the sound of silence. Not the eerie kind. The real kind. No passive-aggressive texts. No middle-of-the-night calls from relatives pretending to check in. Just quiet. Boring, beautiful quiet. The car sat in the driveway. Still mine. No new scratches. No mystery dents. Every time I saw it, it reminded me of something strange. The battle hadn't been about the car. It had been about ownership of my life. Josh eventually stopped trying to drag me online. I think the last straw was when someone commented, "Bro got legally beat by a guy in khakis and a Costco card. I heard he moved in with a new girlfriend." I didn't ask who. I didn't ask where. I was out of the loop now, and God, did it feel good. My mom reached out once more. A letter this time. Handwritten. Thick paper. Blue ink. She said she missed how things used to be. I read it twice and realized there was no good old version. There was just a version where I kept bending. Quietly. Consistently. Until I disappeared. I didn't write back. Instead, I did something symbolic. I took the lasagna out of the freezer. Yes. I froze it. I'd left it there for months like a truce I didn't know how to accept or decline. I didn't eat it. I didn't throw it away. I just kept it. One Saturday, I pulled it out, let it thaw, and dropped it in the trash. Not out of spite. Out of clarity. I wasn't punishing anyone. I was just done digesting things that weren't meant for me. Kara and I got engaged that spring. Small ceremony planned. Backyard. Close friends. Her dad playing guitar. When the guest list came up, she asked gently, "Do you want to invite them?" I thought about it. "No," I said. "I want peace more than I want witnesses." She nodded. No judgment. We toasted to clean slates. A week before the wedding, my dad texted. Not a guilt text. Just this: "If the door opens again someday, I hope I'm allowed to knock." I stared at it for a long time. Then wrote back, "Only if you call first." That was it. My life didn't become a Hallmark movie. Josh didn't go to rehab and discover mindfulness. My mom didn't send flowers with an apology tucked inside. But here's what did happen. I slept better. I laughed more. I stopped bracing every time my phone rang. I reclaimed my space, my name, my damn Honda Civic, and the version of myself I used to pause every time someone else needed more. And in the quiet that followed, I realized something simple and terrifying. They weren't mad because I changed. They were mad because I stayed changed. Let them be mad. Let them call it cold or selfish or dramatic. I'll call it something else. Mine.